Good morning, modern steaders. We're up here at the off-grid property, and today is the big day. They're gonna be coming up here to drill the well. Oh, I'm so pumped to be having this part coming. It's been 4 to 6 months. I have to ask Gina that we've scheduled this for. A lot of stuff right now is way booked out. So before we even had like anything else finalized up here for the off-grid property with the tiny house build, we had already started planning the well just because we knew that kind of stuff was backlogged. So it's nice for it to finally be coming. The nervous part is now is wells are expensive and you don't know how deep it's going to be. The deeper you go, the more money it costs. So in our area, the average well is 300 feet. They can drill and hit water at 100 feet. Oh, look at that sun coming through those trees. That's beautiful. Or sometimes they have to go 400-500 feet, and sometimes they have to hydrofrack. And I'm not 100% sure what hydrofracking is. If we have to do it here, I'll find out more. But if you know what it is, leave it in the comments down below. I'm hoping we don't have to do that here today. The quicker they're in and out, the more money we get to keep in our pockets, which is always a good thing. 2 deer, 1 there and 1 there. There they go. I didn't see any antlers on any of them. I think they're both just 2 nice sized does. All right, I hear them coming up the road. I need to dig them a trench because they need a place for all of their well drillings to go. I was just talking to them, they said the last well had to go 500 feet and get hydrofracked. There was a well before that had to go 800 feet. So I'm hoping that's not the case today. I was talking to the well drillers, and the well they just drilled the other day, they had to go 500 feet and hydrofrac. The one before that was like 342 feet, and the one before that was 800 feet. Okay. Right? How deep do you think we're gonna have to go?
What is normal?
Around here, average is 300. He said they have hit water at 100 feet before in this area.
I think
450. I'm hoping for 100, but realistically, I'm gonna say 400. What's your guess? Leave it in the comments down below. It's kind of almost like gambling. It seems like.
It is what it is.
It is, yeah, you have no idea. They give you, okay, this is the average, this is what it's gonna cost, if it's that, but it could be more and it could be less. Here's the price per foot, so.
But what other options do you have, really?
You don't have any other options.
Yeah, so.
It's what it's all we have to do, so. So I was just talking to the well driller, and we're about 25 feet deep right now, and we're either in a big old boulder or we're in bedrock. If we're in bedrock, that'd be nice because we got to go 10 feet in bedrock with well casing, and then after that you don't need any more casing, and that's one of the expensive parts of well drilling, is if you're not in a rock or the bedrock, you got to put this like metal pipe over it and in it. He was just saying you got to go 10 feet into the bedrock with the casing. So if we're at bedrock already 25 feet, that means 35 feet worth of casing. That wouldn't be bad, so maybe that's a good thing. I guess we'll wait to find out. If it's bedrock. If it's just a boulder, no.
How do they know?
They gotta go 10 feet into bedrock, because he said a boulder's usually not that big that far down. So I was just talking with the well driller again, and they're about 80 feet down right now, and they're all in clay. They haven't hit bedrock yet. So that's why it's kind of taking a little bit longer right now, because clay does not drill the best, he was saying. It kind of, if you go too fast, it caves in and you get suction-y, and I know what it's like to walk in muddy clay, so I get that. So once they get through the clay and into like 10 feet of bedrock, then they'll pull out what they're drilling for the bits and everything, put the casing in, and then they use a hammer drill bit, and he says it goes faster. I don't think it's we have no idea when that'll be, he said. So it's just a wait and see game at this point. There, like I said, it's like 80 feet in, so I'm hoping within the next 20 feet we'll hit bedrock.
You're not gonna rain.
It's raining.
But it can go a lot deeper.
Oh yeah, but it would just be nice to hit bedrock first too, and get some casing in. We've gotten into some rock. Hopefully soon we'll be switching over and putting our casing in, and then we can start hammer drilling, is what it sounds like the next step is. It's hard to hear over there when you're talking to them, so I keep getting a little bit more information as we go. I've been learning a ton today about drilling a well. I knew you had to drill it, but I didn't know all the different steps and phases, so it's pretty interesting. I love learning new things, and I love learning new stuff about a house site build. It's nice to know everything that goes into it. The homestead we have now has a well. I grew up in Massachusetts, and we always had town water. The first house me and Gina ever owned had town water, so wells are kind of new to me. So it's very interesting to learn all of this. It's kind of neat. They've screened out some of that sediment coming out, hosed it down, and they can see what they had for rock. That's just all the ground up material that they're drilling through right now. So I'm hoping we're gonna be switching over soon. Well, we went 130 feet. We hit bedrock at the end. Plan is to drill 10 more feet into bedrock tomorrow. Then we'll pull everything back up out of the ground, put the casing in, and then put the rock drilling bit on and drill through the bedrock until we hit hot water. And who knows how deep we're gonna have to go at that point. That all just depends on how many gallons per minute we get and how deep down we hit the vein. So right now, they just had to take everything apart and strip it out, they call it, because if they leave everything in the ground overnight and that hole collapses, that drill bit can get stuck in the ground. So they had to pull everything back out, so that way sitting overnight, they don't have to worry about the hole falling in. And then tomorrow morning, we're gonna do all that right over again, drill out 10 more feet, which he said will probably take about an hour and a half to drill out that last 10 feet because the bedrock is slow drilling with the bit we have on right now. Once we get the casing in, and you can start basically like jackhammer drilling it, it goes to work a lot quicker is what he told me. We're gonna find out more tomorrow. So this was a 9-hour day today of drilling for 130 feet. So hopefully tomorrow we finish it up and we get the flow we need. See you guys back here in the morning. This is another nice early morning up here at the off-grid property. Day 2 of well drilling. The well drillers aren't here yet, but they should be here shortly. I'll tell you what, I didn't do much myself yesterday, but I slept like a baby last night. I was exhausted when I got home. This well drilling work is hard work. I don't know why, but man, I was tired. Day 2, and I'm hoping the last day of well drilling. That's one big deep hole. Holy moly. I don't know why, but this rig makes me think of a carnival ride at a fair. I think it's just the tall mast and all the mechanical parts on it, but that's what I think of when I see all that running yesterday, especially from afar. Man, I can't get over this. Look at this thing. This is a beast. My guess is this is the first piece of casing to go in. This is kind of got like an edge on it, so that'll push through everything, and they'll screw all the other pieces into that one. Now that they're in good solid bedrock, it's taken them about 10 minutes to drill 20 feet. Hopefully by the end of the day today, we'll have hit water. It's the end of day 2 of drilling our well. No water yet. They are 400 feet deep. I shouldn't say that. They have very little water. I wouldn't even think it's a gallon a minute. So hopefully tomorrow we strike water. That's the goal. So see you guys back here in the morning. Look at that sun setting. It is beautiful. It's day 3 of well drilling. Yesterday they got to 400 feet and very little water. It'll be interesting to see how deep we have to go today before we hit water, or if we have to hydrofrack. I learned what hydrofracking is basically they got to take all the drilling pipes out and then they put a rubber stopper in, is what it sounds like. I'm not 100% sure there. And plug off the pipe, and they put 3,500 pounds of water pressure in there, cleaning up all the little cracks in the rock and the bedrock, hoping to get water to come out of them, because all those cracks are veins and they have water coming through them, and sometimes if there's not a lot of water coming through them, they get plugged up. So if they can unplug them, they'll get water flowing. That's how I understand it. If they have to do it, I'll get some more information, but that's the little bit I got. It's a little hard talking here when the well machine is going because it is loud. Don't know if you can see how foggy it is this morning. It is 36 degrees out. Winter is gonna be here before you know it. Glad the concrete work is done. The earth anchors are in the ground for the solar array. The well's getting drilled, so we're going in the right direction. What's your guess on how deep they're gonna have to go? I'm hoping we hit water soon, and I'm hoping we hit a lot of it. I was just talking with the well drillers, and the well did make water overnight. So there's 400 feet worth of drilling done, and the water level was 40 feet from the top. So we had 360 feet worth of water. So I think he figured that was 500 gallons that's in there. I could be wrong. I forget what he said. I think it was around 500 gallons, which isn't enough to meet the requirement. If the well's only producing a gallon a minute, which is probably what he was thinking it was doing last night, that's not enough water for the minimum requirement. We'll have to go at least 500 feet deep if the well doesn't start producing more gallons per minute. So, that being said, they're gonna drill about 40 more feet, check it to see how much water per minute is coming out, and we'll make a determination from there. But I'm happy, I feel a little relieved that there's water in the well. We're not just drilling a dry hole. We're getting about 1.5 gallons of water a minute. We're gonna put one more stick in, and that'll bring us to 520. We're 520 feet deep with our well, and 40 feet low is our static pressure. And then you gotta go 20 feet up with your pump. So it's 460 feet worth of storage that we can use. So that's 690 gallons of water storage we have in that hole. And we're producing what they said is 1.5 gallons per minute. By my timing it on the camera, I got almost 2 gallons per minute, so I think they're being conservative. And then also what he was telling me at the end is the air pressure that they are pumping, or the air that they are pumping into the well, is at 208 or 280. I couldn't tell what he said. So it's heating up the water and vaporizing some of it. So when I'm recording, you can see all that steam. That's because the air temperature they're putting into the well is so warm. So that's gonna vaporize some of the water. So that's gonna mess up the flow. So conservatively, we have 1.5 gallons per minute that well is producing. And that's over 20, no, that's not 28. So that would be like 2,100 gallons a day of water that well will make on the conservative side. I'm thinking more like 3,000 gallons per minute a day that well is gonna make. Thank you. All right, and just like that, they are gone. I shouldn't say just like that. 2.5 days later, we got ourselves a nice well drilled here. Now we gotta get the pump installers out here. I gotta dig a trench back to the pipe we had already started to dig. And they'll come in, they'll install the line, the pump, and the wiring. We're just not gonna install the stuff in the tiny house, whatever you wanna call it for now, until we get that framed up. If we can get all the trench work and the pump put in before winter comes, we'll be in good shape. Well, we ended up having to go a little bit deeper than what we were planning on with the well. The estimate we got for drilling the well was on 300 feet, and then I believe they estimated around 100 feet worth of casing. We ended up having to go 170 feet worth of well casing before we hit bedrock, and then the rest of it was all in bedrock, so we didn't need any well casing. So I'm glad the well's done. It's a little bit deeper than we planned on, so it'll be interesting to see what the bill is when we get that in. Thanks for coming along on our homesteading journey. You guys are a huge blessing to us in our homestead. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, share it, it really helps, and we'll see you right back here in the next video at Lumnah Acres. Bye.